Tonight on WRTV News at 5, it is the first test of the city's new snow removal strategy. Did contractors make the grade on plowing local roads?
Young girls in our community can see me serve in this capacity and know that somebody that looks like them can contribute to their community in such an impactful way.
History-making choice, Deputy Chief Tanya Terry tapped by Mayor Joe Hogsett to become IMPD's first female chief of police.
A report detailing financial struggles in hospitals across Indiana. Coming up on WRTV, we're going to take you inside the numbers and why hospital leaders say it could impact your Hoosier healthcare.
Connecting our communities with stories that matter. This is WRTV.
Now at 5 o'clock, beware of icy roads. Another busy day for state police and emergency crews. Roads that just look wet are icy as the temperatures remain below freezing. This crash scene on the west side is still tying up traffic at this hour. It happened well before noon. So let's take a live look at that scene right now. This is the northbound on I-465 just south of Rockville Road on the west side. You can see here traffic is slowly getting around this area as they work to continue to clean up that big mess there. But again, this happened hours ago, so you're going to want to take it slow, maybe avoid this area if you can. Thankfully, minor injuries here. State police say many times people are just driving too fast out there for the conditions on the roadway. And take a look at this video here. Sergeant John Perrine did a little demonstration there at that crash scene earlier today. Yes, that is ice. He is skating out there on the roadways. So that gives you an example of what those roadways are like. And then another close call for an Indiana state trooper. He was inside his vehicle at a crash site, blocking a lane on I-65 near 38th Street when his patrol car was hit by a suspected drunk driver. Thankfully, the trooper does not have life-threatening injuries. So again, a busy day for state police. We want to thank you for joining us here at 5 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. The sun was out today, which may melt a little of that snow, but temperatures are headed to well below zero tonight, which leads to refreezing and more ice. So let's get right over to meteorologist Kyle Mounts for what's ahead. Hi, Kyle.
Yeah, Nicole, and we know that can happen quickly, and looks can be deceiving out there. What looks like just some wet pavement, certainly just treated as ice with as cold as temperatures are. Right now, 16 in Indy. It feels like 2 degrees. It feels like 2 below zero in the Muncie area. It's been a little breezy out there through the day. We've got those winds out of the west around 15 miles per hour, providing that even colder feel. Good news is that the winds will be decreasing as we go through this evening. By 8 o'clock, they're under 10 miles per hour. They'll actually go calm as we head into tomorrow morning. So that's one of the reasons we've replaced that excessive cold warning with a cold weather advisory. This goes for much of central Indiana here until mid-morning tomorrow. You can see areas like Mooresville, Martinsville, of course, Indianapolis included in that, also Shelbyville to Rushville and areas to the north. We're looking at wind chills tomorrow morning that are going to be around -10. For an excessive cold warning, we would need those wind chills to be a little closer to -20. It's going to feel like 2 degrees tomorrow morning in Bloomington. As for this evening, those actual temperatures, we fall quickly back to the single digits, and we will slip back below zero again overnight with those clear skies. Nicole?
Kyle, thank you. Indy DPW is taking inventory of its roads after the first test of the city's new snow removal strategy. DPW says contractors completed passes of those priority 2 and 3 roads yesterday afternoon. Those are roads that connect to main thoroughfares and residential streets. DPW is performing inspections of those roads today to make sure the job was done. They are checking if contractors plowed a single center lane pass to let cars get through. Contractors can be dispatched again if standards are not met, but there's some nuisance to that criteria.
Being able to, see if there is still obvious snow in the middle of the lane is one of the clearest, telltale signs that, a street may need to still be adjusted. But, if a street, really starts seeing usage post the storm, it kind of gets hard to tell with an eye, visually if it's had its single pass or if people have just been driving on it and compacted it.
DPW says the single pass requirement will likely be included in year-to-year negotiations based on what contractors say they can reasonably get done after a snowfall event. I'm hearing from many of you on my Facebook page that your street was not plowed, so DPW says to report those missed streets to the Mayor's Action Center. That information is available on the WRTV app. Older residents are at a higher risk as dangerous cold temperatures may have already contributed to the deaths of 3 people here in Marion County. Marion County Coroner Alfie McGinty says cold exposure cannot be ruled out as a contributing factor in any of the deaths. 59-year-old Violet Wells died Monday. Her family says she was shoveling snow outside her home. Her father says he found her collapsed on the back porch steps. The family tells us medics believe the stress from the cold weather and physical exertion triggered a fatal heart attack.
If you ain't used to it, don't get out there and do it, because it's hard on older people. Cold weather put a stress on her heart, because it's only 10 above zero that Monday.
Wells says his daughter had a heart attack 15 years ago. The coroner's office is conducting autopsies on all 3 victims. Full forensic evaluations are underway to determine the exact cause and manner of death. Another issue created by the snow and below freezing temperatures is a gap in the local blood supply. Officials with Versiti Blood Center of Indiana said the weather has brought a pause in donations, with the center losing more than 1,000 expected donations over just the past 3 days. That's because of canceled appointments and delayed blood drives. It's left a sharp drop in available supply since blood cannot be stockpiled.
We have people battling chronic conditions every day. Leukemia, sickle cell, trauma still happens, surgeries still happen. So blood is needed every day of the year despite weather. And so we're very appreciative that for Hoosiers that donate all the time. And what our ask is that if you haven't donated and it's safe to do so for you, come on in and donate blood.
Donating blood takes about 1 hour and donors should be feeling healthy. You can find a link with donation center locations and eligibility requirements. That's on our website, WRTV.com. History is being made at IMPD. Deputy Chief of Operations Tanya Terry will be sworn in Monday as the department's first permanent female police chief. Today, I got to learn more about the woman who will soon lead IMPD. Terry is a 27-year veteran. She has worked in patrol, homicide, and leadership roles, most recently as Deputy Chief of Operations for the last 2 years. In that role, she oversaw every police district in the city and helped drive a 44% drop in homicides and non-fatal shootings. Terry grew up here in Indianapolis, graduating from Warren Central High School before joining IMPD in 1999. Her top priorities will include continuing violence reduction efforts, strengthening partnerships outside the department, expanding officer wellness programs, and improving recruitment and retention, especially bringing more women into the ranks.
Young girls in our community can see me serve in this capacity and know that somebody that looks like them can contribute to their community in such an impactful way. It's an incredible, mind-blowing opportunity.
Are you still wrapping your mind around the fact that this is real?
Yes.
How does life change coming from the position you are in now to essentially the top cop here in Indianapolis?
I think my responsibilities are going to increase, of course. I feel a real duty to be available to our community. I feel a real duty to be available to the men and women that serve on this agency. And of course, that's going to come with some sacrifices at home.
Terry says she is nervous but excited and ready to serve the city she's called home since 2nd grade. She tells me she has great family support, including from her wife, Lindsay Terry, who is an IMPD captain. Current Chief Chris Bailey becomes Mayor Hogshead's Chief Deputy Mayor and Chief of Staff on Monday, the day Terry is sworn in. A report from the Indiana Hospital Association is warning of financial struggles at hospitals around the state. WRTV's Logan McDonald is diving deep into the numbers and what this could mean for Hoosier healthcare.
$1 billion. That's how much revenue Indiana hospitals are expected to lose in the next 3 to 5 years. Those numbers come from the Indiana Hospital Association.
If these trends continue to make it harder for us to deliver care, or even worse, harder for patients to access it, Hoosiers will definitely feel the impact the most.
The IHA report says Hoosier hospitals continue to face financial struggles. Operating income has dropped 5.5% over the last year as revenue fails to keep up with the rising costs.
Well, sadly, we've got some of the highest costs nationally with some of the poorest outcomes. So we're not doing well in either categories.
Which means $50 million less available for reinvestment into patient care.
Healthcare leaders say a large culprit has been a broken system when it comes to Medicare and Medicaid reimbursements.
So for every dollar of cost that our organization spends, we're getting back on a Medicaid patient 57 cents on that dollar. For every dollar of cost associated with a Medicare patient, we're getting 82 cents back on that.
And what can be done at the state level to, help strengthen our hospitals and maintain strong health care?
Well, hospitals need to start being entrepreneurial and figuring out how to take costs out of it. They're on a nonprofit basis. That's probably run its course.
Now the governor is calling on Hoosiers to rely less on Medicare and Medicaid and more on themselves to reduce the burden on our hospitals.
A lot of how we address healthcare is we got to look at our own habits, our own lifestyles, and almost all of that you can do on your own, so you don't have to participate in an expensive system currently.
In Indianapolis, I'm Logan McDonald, WRTV.
Well, you can find the full IHA report and findings by clicking the link in our webpage on our article, WRTV.com.
With the frigid temperatures set to stay a while, you may be worried about your energy bills next month. Hear tips and tricks from local companies about how to keep your heat high and costs low at the same time.
And we're going to need to do that for a while as we look at the extended forecast. We are still several days away from warmer temperatures approaching the freezing mark. We'll talk about when we could hit 32 degrees. You're watching WRTV News at 5.